Hey, welcome back to my channel. You know, we have immortality in our soul. We really do. Who wrote the book? Becker. He died actually after he wrote it. The Denial of Death, like right after he wrote it. He talked about the Immortality Project, and he merged that. He contrasted that with depression, schizophrenia, and what else? I forget. But my point today is that one of our biggest problems is we deny death, but we have a sense of immortality. And Becker makes the point that this is what brings depression into your life. I remember reading it. So, but how do we bring the Bible in to this? What does the Bible have to say? Of course, the Bible has everything to say about everything. But and some of the greatest ministers in the world, Charles Spurgeon, my favorite. He's definitely, I used to always hear about Charles Spurgeon this, Charles Spurgeon that. And then you discover, him, and you're like, wow, this guy is phenomenal. Charles Spurgeon, what a great writer. And I was actually moved so much. See, I got saved in 93. I heard about him a lot, but I didn't really read him until around 2000. And then the church I was attending, I put on a little thing, a skit or whatever, about Charles Spurgeon and how he got saved. Now, Spurgeon suffered from deep depression. But he was the most productive minister in the last many years. Although, what's the great thing about being a minister of Christ, and we are all ministers, in the sense that we all have this good news to share with people. However, do we share it? I know I don't as much as I should. But Spurgeon, he wrote qualitatively and quantitatively. That's what I like to say about Spurgeon. Great sermons. I have a couple volumes of his. I used to have 7 or 8 volumes of his sermons, but such is life. But so my message today is this: we have this denial of death, but I love what Becca said. We have this sense of immortality. He got the Pulitzer Prize for saying, now, I don't even think he was a Christian, but he could be. I'm sure he was acquainted with the Bible, very well read. I'll have to look that up and report back to you. But for my hundreds of thousands of YouTubers out there, subscribers, and partiers, I know you're out there. I'm stealing that one from Mikey G, by the way, disc jockey up here in Boston. But he's awesome. He does this thing called the Midnight Bong, and he puts on music from every 12 o'clock midnight. He plays an hour of one band or another, or sometimes he'll have 2 bands going back and forth. Usually it's around the calendar, but other times he just does it out of a whim. And he's probably one of the most, what's the word? He knows a lot about music. Anyway, my point today is we're all fallen. We have this fallenness, and we won't look at the Bible, unless, I don't know, it takes an act of God. I guess that's what it's all about anyway. We are God's salvation. We are God's workmanship. He is the author of our faith. But the Word is out there for us to investigate. So a guy like me, who has found the Bible, who's found God through reading the Bible, I'm called an ambassador now for God, or a disciple for Jesus, or a minister. There's probably several other names too. A saint. I'm a saint. These are things where you can start developing identity. I'm forgiven because of what Jesus did. And Jesus went to the cross. What a mighty God! He went to the cross for my sin, and his blood was spilled for my sin, and that's hard to ignore. Historically, I don't think any other God has done this, but that's how he makes sinners righteous in his sight because of our belief in him and what was accomplished. Justifies us. As the Bible says this, Romans 3. All right. But the whole world's under the sway of the evil one, okay? And we got all these monster lies coming at us every day, hundreds and thousands of times a day. And plus, on top of that, we get the suppression of the gospel. All right? And one of the things I was going to say is that the Christians have I think what this reset is all about is they want to get rid of all the Christians, and the Bible talks about this, because we have a conscience. We have, and what doesn't have a conscience? A beast, and the followers of the beast, right? They have a mentality of all it takes to survive, and that's what the beast was going to do. He's going to eliminate. He has to eliminate anybody who doesn't agree with him. And he is a monster. And he doesn't have a conscience. Like Satan, this is Satan. This is the devil. If he relishes in the fact that you're going to hell with him because he knows he's going to hell. And the Bible says he's working overtime to trick everybody. So my point is that he will have to get rid of all of quote-unquote religious people with conscience to get his program run. And that's where the Bible's going to have to be taken away. And you can see it happen, and this is what they want to do. Because they really... And I'm amazed that the only people who are really marked are the Christians. And I see it in a lot of advertising. I see it in a lot of little messages the powers that be send out, and they're only coming after Jesus. So, in a way, that confirms my faith. Not that I needed any confirmation. All right, but what I want to say to you is there's still hope today. We can get saved. Don't try to fit into this upside-down world. If you have a problem, don't compromise who you are. Don't accommodate the insanity. You just pray to God. Get right with God. Believe in God. All right? And then do the best you can out there. All right? And don't worry about your career as much. Try to do the best you can. Keep busy. And, if you find a way to make a living and be productive, try to be productive with your time. But you don't want to sell your soul to the devil like a John Lennon. That's what he did. You got to read the book, The Lennon Prophecy. You don't want to sell your soul. I heard Steely Dan sold their soul to the devil. You don't want to do that. And in so many different, smaller ways, people have done that. They'll do whatever it takes to be successful. And you see a lot of them used by Satan, and then they just tossed on the trash heap. And they're 25 years old, and they got nothing left. And they've already bought the bill of goods that sent them down the wrong road, be it a hockey player or a movie star or People who have wasted their youth on something that isn't of God need to get right with God. I'm not saying it's the end of the world. They just need to get right with God. Why not live for God? Why not live with God, walk with God? Why not? It's more eternally satisfying. It's more temporally satisfying. All right? There's nothing more shallow than living for yourself. And that's what we have. We have lovers of self right now. And nobody knows about being a lover of God. So that's my message today. Hope you receive it. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.